Very simply, Lent is about drawing nearer to Jesus. And fundamentally, it is a theological experience, and what I mean by that is not sort of academic. I mean theology in its old sense. It is a looking at God in a real way, and it's a spiritual experience and it's a moral experience, right? In the Catholic West, this has taken on a definite shape, and as I said, for me, I'm not the only one. I follow St. Augustine and Leo the Great, and in many ways, I think you could argue that they are the fathers of the Catholic experience of Lent in the West. Leo especially. Leo the Great, for example, has like 12 Lenten sermons, which are very good reading if you're looking for spiritual reading this Lent. He was drawing on traditions he knew, which go back all the way to Matthew's Gospel, really. And in those 12 sermons, he articulates a theology of Lent that's classically Catholic. And his theology of Lent, as expressed in those sermons, as best I can tell, really focuses on some classic Lenten practices, which, if you've read the Catechism or listened to a homily in a church during Lent, that are classic to the practice of Lent, and that is prayer and fasting, forgiveness, and almsgiving. And these practices are very similar, as I said, to fasting, prayer, and almsgiving, these three sort of classic forms of penance, as read in the Catechism of the Catholic Church, for example. I think if you look at paragraph 1434. So it's by these Lenten practices, that different fathers have talked about, that the Bible talks about even, that we read in Augustine and Leo, how to imitate Christ and draw near to him, right? Finally, Lent is for everyone, right? Absolutely everyone. And the fathers have always been clear about that. It's not just for catechumens, but it's for all the faithful, since the very beginning. As I said at the start of this talk, Lent's been a special time for drawing closer to God, but also closer together. Remember, as the Didache said, not just those preparing for baptism, but the whole community should fast and pray before the celebration of baptism. And Leo offers these classic ways of prayer and fasting, forgiving and almsgiving, which are just exactly what the Church offers, or encourages us to take up in the season of Lent. And so I share this final passage from Leo with you. Catechumens, that is, those preparing for baptism. Catechumens need it in order to receive what they do not have as yet. Right? They need Lent and the preparation for Lent to receive what they do not have as yet, that is baptism. The baptized, that is the faithful, they need it in order to preserve what they have received. That is our, state of grace. For the apostle says, "Let anyone who thinks he stands take heed lest he fall. Let us therefore make good use, beloved, of this most propitious season, to polish the mirror of our hearts with greater care." And that's a beautiful image to finish our talk with. Lent is a time to polish the mirror of our hearts. Why? Because our hearts are meant to reflect the light of God. And so when we do that Lenten work of praying and fasting, forgiving, almsgiving, when we do this stuff, right, it's like cleaning the mirror of our heart so that it can reveal and reflect more brilliantly the light of God, which has always, always, always been shining upon it, right? And so have a blessed Lent, and no matter how strange Lent might be for you, how many times you might fail, still, you can start again with these very simple things, and slowly but surely make your own way to Easter, and make your own way to the resurrection of Jesus Christ, and to your resurrection too. Have a blessed Lent.